Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loan Studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. Today's episode, you're not going to believe it. It's another Amsden birthday. Happy birthday, Meg. Love of my life. Let's hop into the conversation. Folks, it is March 24th, and we are officially on the final day of Amsden March Magic. Amsden March Madness, if you want to call it that. 5 people, 10 days, all birthdays within that. So Arthur, our second son, March 14th. Our youngest son, Arrow, March 20th. Lex, our oldest boy, was on this weekend, over the weekend, March 22nd. And my wife and I both have our birthday today on the 24th. So from the 14th through the 24th. 5 birthdays. It's a little insane, Taylor. It's a little insane. We've often been asked, did we plan it? Yeah. So we didn't plan it on the first one. We were just like, hey, let's start talking about making babies, sort of thing like that. And then his birthday was actually, his due date was our birthday. So my wife and I, when we have the same birthday. So yes, this episode is Happy Birthday, Meg. However, it's also kind of happy birthday to me as well. So whatever. And what's funny is neither of us have been massive birthday people in the past. So the fact that we share a birthday and that it's the end of all of our kids is always kind of like, let's just go out and have a steak dinner, and let's be done. We're kind of done with partying at that point. Do you want more cake? No, I want steak. By the way, why doesn't Steak and Shake have steak and cake? Or, right? Why do you just get the shake at the Steak and Shake? Why can't you get the cake? See what I'm saying? Nobody cares. She doesn't have her mic on today, so talking with her isn't helping any of you all either. We forgot to turn on your mic today, Taylor. So I'm totally off of what I wanted to talk about. So it is an amazing time. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the fallout from all of the birthdays. But we didn't plan originally to do that. And then with the second one, we were like, well, let's get pregnant again. And I just said to her, I said, well, hey, let's maybe shoot for around the same time in March. Because at the time we lived in California, Disneyland let you get into your birthday for free. Get into the park for free on your birthday, sorry. And so originally we were like, man, if we can load these up, we'll just get one kid in for free for like 3 or 4 days in a row. So with the second kid, we definitely we aimed for a range of time to get pregnant in, and it worked out. And then with the third kid, when it came time for that conversation, I said to her, well, this one's got to be born in March as well. We've got a 2-week window, basically, to get pregnant, and that is between Father's Day and 4th of July. P.S. for those of you who can't do the math, we love that time of year. Fireworks, whatever, barbecues, all the stuff. So she was like, why do we have only 2 weeks to get pregnant? And I said, because we can't have 4 of us be within 10 days of each other, and one kid is randomly out in September. That one's going to have to be in therapy. Not that my children aren't going to be in therapy anyway. So we did, and it worked. And when we found out she was pregnant, and they told us the due date of March 20th, she punched me in the arm, and she goes, "You sucker, you did it again," which is a huge blessing. Actually, we didn't have trouble conceiving, but these episodes are not about the kiddos; they're about my wife. We have been together for 21 years in marriage, and we have dated for almost 25 years. So we dated for almost 4 years together. And we were college sweethearts. She stole my attention from the very first time I saw her headshot, and said, I got to get to know that girl. And we hit it off immediately. We had very similar values. We had very similar life trajectories that we saw at that time. And she actually thought I was pulling a line on her when I asked her birthday, and she said March 24th. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my birthday too. She made me get out my license and show her my license, because she was like, this guy's just trying to charm me and do all this. And I had hair at the time, and I was charming. And she said, all right, show me your license, sucker. But when I think of her, when I think of how she has helped me grow, and I'm not trying to be selfish here, people, but boy, she is the consistency and the backbone of my world. And we had years where we were kind of butting heads for a while in our marriage, because what happened was, and I think I've talked about this on a previous pod at one point, I kind of viewed her as opposition. And we used to say this phrase, "Are you even on my team?" And especially when we were dealing with stuff with the kids, when I was going through my mental health battle, she was always there, but I didn't see her for who she was. I saw her for who I wanted her to be. And who I wanted her to be was nowhere near who she was called to be. And it robbed her of her volition and robbed her of the very singular nature of how she was created and all of her gifts and all of her skill sets. And I felt like for years I became resentful because she wasn't what I wanted. When we were we had been married for years at this point, and we started butting heads more frequently. And what I realized is I was facing in and we were going nose to nose. But what has happened in the last few years, especially as I have learned more about the future you stuff, and she has learned about who she's wanting to become more and more, we have learned that we're no longer standing nose to nose. Now we're standing side by side. And we've healed together. We've grown together. Now we get to go together, and we get to raise these three young, amazing people together. And I've watched her as she has grown in her dreams. She has grown in her passions. She's grown in the vision of what she wants and sees for her own life. And now, rather than being a jealous teammate, what I get to be is I get to be her cheerleader. And I get to see her continue to go and continue to grow and continue to expand. And Meg, I love you. I can't imagine a better partner, a better life, a better wife, a better person to just sit with me in all the hard moments, and to be stalwart and consistent, even in my inconsistencies, to be moderate when I was extreme. You are definitely, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in this game of life. And so I love you. And yeah, you're solidly into your mid-40s now. Congratulations. I can't wait to be with you in your late 40s and in your 50s and in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I can't wait for the next 40 years of our life together, the next 21 years of getting to date you and stay married to you. It's going to be amazing. So thank you for who you are. Thank you for who you're becoming. Thank you for being the mother to our boys. And for those of you who are listening, two of the qualities I love about my wife is that she is consistent, she is stalwart, she's moderate, and she just takes that approach. And she takes pure pleasure in watching our boys grow. And so if I could encourage you, where are some places in your life where you could be a little bit more moderate or be a little bit more consistent and stalwart, but also where you can take pleasure in the key relationships around you? Seeing her smile at our children, now seeing her play with our new dog, seeing all of this is one of the greatest pleasures of my life. And sometimes I just watch her as she's watching them, and it's amazing. So take pleasure in your days, my friends. Be moderate, be stalwart, be consistent, but just enjoy life for what it is. And Meg, I can't wait to enjoy the rest of my life with you. Happy birthday, babe. I love you. And to everyone else, have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to DallasDailyShow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.